I tested the camera, I tested the microphone, everything works fine. So, decision making in a relationship. Statistically speaking, if you take a random man from a crowd and a random woman from a crowd, the man will be more disagreeable 60% of the time, which means 60% of the time the woman will be more agreeable. And what does this mean in a relationship? Well, many relationships tend to manifest this way, where the woman is more agreeable. Like, I don't know where to eat, you choose, everything you gotta choose is gonna be fine. I mean, you take a decision and everything is alright, you know, or I don't know what I would like to do now, so yeah, I really don't know, what do you think I should do, and stuff like that. Like, she puts it more to you, she's more open to listen, more open to follow, and men tend to be more disagreeable, and they're like, yeah, but like, what do you mean? Like, you can make a decision for yourself, like, you're so unreliable and undecisive and stuff like that, which, well, is not nice to say to your girlfriend, not at all, because, well, you might start a fight. Anyway, you know, it's frustrating for both, because the man gives an option. Like, there are many situations where this happens, like the man gives options, but she seems not to like any of the options presented. Like, she's agreeable, but she's like, also, how do you say, undecisive. She doesn't really like the options that are given, you know. It happens many times where she's like complaining about something, and you come as a man, you come with options like, oh, we can do this, or we can do that, or we can do this and that, and she's like, no, that's a bad idea, or no, I won't do that, or what will the other people think if I do that and this, you know. And it's frustrating for both parties, and usually a fight can start, and eventually one of you will end up taking a decision based on anger, which, yeah, is not something nice. Okay, so let's start with this example, right? The most common one. Okay, you approach your girlfriend and ask, hey babe, are you hungry? And she says, yeah, I will definitely grab something to eat. And now listen, if you know your girlfriend is usually indecisive and does not like to bother to choose a place to eat, don't even bother yourself to ask, but make use of the knowledge you have of her food likings, for example, in this case, and present it in a story. For example, you know, my girl, I remember last time we went at that Italian restaurant, and where we had that amazing pizza, like, you remember, you know, with the crust and everything, like, it was so cheesy and all of that. And we looked, both of us, we looked in the menu, you know, before ordering, and we're like, okay, we're gonna take a pizza, but damn, look, they have this carbonara pasta carbonara, and it's like looking so amazing, and the price is good, and next time when we come here, we can definitely try this. And you are both like, yeah, this seems very fine, we should definitely come here again because their prices are good and everything is cool, so we can definitely try that. What do you say? You know, and she can be like, yeah, that's such a good idea, I actually wanted to eat pasta, like, how did you know, and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's so nice of you that you remembered, and it can be fine. She can say yes. Otherwise, there are situations where she says no, and the story does not end. she might be even angry, like, oh, what a dumb idea is that, like, oh, it's 4 in the day, and it's like 4 p.m. and it's not a good time to eat pasta right now, like, later in the evening will be better, or whatever reason she gives that she doesn't want to go eat with you at that specific place. And instead of you getting angry, because, like, yeah, you spend some time making a story and building up everything and selling this idea to her, you don't have to get angry, just relax, calm down, and talk nicely with her, not ironical or any way. If she talks ironically with you, just relax, give her some time, you know, give her some leeway, some space to manifest her behavior, you know, because they can be, sometimes, if they don't like the idea, they can be like trying to, how do you say, provoke you, you know, but you don't answer back, and just tell her, babe, it's okay, let's take please, let's take a seat for 3 minutes. You and I, let's take a seat and let's talk about your favorite foods. Maybe something will start your appetite eventually, and let's talk about what you like and what you eat usually and stuff like that. And they'll learn. Not that I don't know, I know, but let's talk more about it. Let's see. Maybe something will raise your appetite. Maybe we'll find something that you actually want right now. So let's talk about it. And if she doesn't start, you can start. Like, oh, I remember you usually I like that appetizers. You like to start with appetizers and this salami with this cheese and blah blah and blah blah. And then she'll start, yeah, but blah 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 blah. And you can start a conversation, in this matter. And maybe something, yeah, will pop up. If you guys have talked calmly and you already talked about it, but still nothing comes up, or worse, she gets even more angry and frustrated from the conversation. Just, if this happens, just calm her down. Tell her, okay, I didn't know you'll get hurt from, you'll get so frustrated from this conversation. So please calm down and yeah, come here and give her a kiss on the forehead, or and just hug her for a few seconds. Try to calm her down. You know how she calms down, how you usually calm her down. So yeah, make her laugh or make a joke. Like yeah, like I thought you're a foodie person, but it seems like nothing gets to your stomach right now, or something like that. I don't know, something that will make her laugh. So and in this scenario, after she calms down, just get dressed together, get your clothes on, and tell her, okay, let's go out, let's go for a walk, and see what restaurants pique her interest. Like, let's go out and just look around and see if something is to our liking. And go for that. Otherwise, if she keeps being a total, well, just look in her eyes and tell her, listen, just listen. Enough games. I understand you had a rough time today, or you don't feel fine, but for God's sake, let aside this negativity, or you'll starve yourself. Because you know what? I'm hungry, and I'll choose something for my liking. And if you have a problem with that, I'm afraid I can't help you. So eventually, you try. This is the thing. Basically, you tried everything, right? You tried to sell to her a good idea to continue further with this decision making. Like, you told her a story and how she could continue nicely. Like, you make everything very nice. You try this to make everything very nice and make a decision look very appealing. Doesn't work. Then you try to communicate her likings. You try to analyze what will be good for her, what will not be good for her, and start a conversation about her likings and what she doesn't like as well, and see if you can light a spark from that conversation. 2-3 minutes. If that doesn't work either, just comfort her. Comfort her and tell her that everything will be all right, and everything will be solved. And you'll be the one to change the atmosphere if this can work. Either it being by leaving the house for a walk together and changing the atmosphere, just going out and having a conversation. It doesn't matter if it's talking about food, or a decision of if she should quit her job or start a new job or do her homework or stuff like that, and you just can't make it out together. You try to sell her the idea, you try to talk with her about it, and she keeps being frustrated and angry, and it seems like she can't make a decision. Well, just change the atmosphere. Either you change the room, or you put some music on, you go for a walk together, you go out. And this is also a possibility that it seems nothing works. You just tell her, okay, it's fine, I'm gonna leave you for a second, because some people just don't work, cannot be calmed down by other people. It seems like all you have to do is just leave her alone, especially if she asks you to leave her alone. If she asks you to leave her alone, just leave her alone and say, okay, take your time, decide, but please, I'm leaving. but give me a favor, or make me a favor. Relax, okay? Everything will be fine. Just leave. Tell this to her and just leave her. Give us some space, you know. Otherwise, yeah, you know, just go out, change the room, do something like that, and try to look for an answer together. If she doesn't want to be left alone. If that doesn't work either, you know, like you tried everything, or you come back later after she calmed down and she keeps bringing it up, the thing that she has a problem with this in this situation, like she's hungry, or she can make a decision regarding work, or blah 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 blah, and then you try again to talk with her about it, and she definitely does not want to listen to you, disagrees with you completely, even though she might be an agreeable person. She just doesn't like your idea for some reason, because maybe she's pissed off at you for something you did before. If that does not work, everything is right already. Tell her that if it's a decision for both, tell her that you'll make a decision soon for both of you. And if she does not agree with it, tell her that you're afraid you can't help her with that. So maybe sometimes she has to take a decision, but she can't. You try to take a decision for her and tell her, we'll do it this way. Because it seems like you can't make a decision now, and I understand. And I'll take the responsibility to make the decision for you. So we'll try it this way. And if you don't agree with it, I'm afraid I can't help you with it. And you do it. You see how it goes. Well, and let's say the decision is like, it's really a big decision. Like, for example, quitting the university. Like, you can just file the papers for her and kick her out of the university. I mean, that's something toxic. You shouldn't do that. You know, I'm talking about smaller decisions, like you choosing a place to eat for, you know, choosing some clothes for her to dress with, or maybe that's a bit hard. It's tricky, but stuff like that. You know, what bracelet to buy, you know, or if she should see her parents, even though she's in a bad relationship with them. If she stuff like that, you know, if she should still hang out with her girlfriend that she's all day drinking in the clubs and stuff like that. Well, situations like this, she seems like she doesn't want to take a decision, and you can take a decision for her, which is fine, you know. But if it's something bigger than this, just come to an agreement together. You can also try this, come to an agreement together that if you have friends, you have like a friend that that know both of you, you know, you have a friend that knows both of you, you can talk with that friend, you know, or talk with other couples, bring this problem in a conversation with other couples as well, and see their opinion. Maybe your girlfriend is right. Maybe she doesn't accept your decisions, the things that you imply to her, because they were totally wrong, and you have to be humble enough to accept that. Maybe she's actually right, and you really think she's not, you know, and she cannot take the decision because you think she'll be very wrong, and then she'll think, oh, maybe if I take this decision, he'll be very angry because he thinks that I don't respect him and stuff like that. It's also possible, you know. I mean, you also have to take into consideration that the decision you might want can be wrong, you know. And yeah, talk with her and see if you can make a deal, so both of you will be better off with that deal than without it, than separate. And yeah, you can talk with a family member that knows you both, with a friend that knows you both, you know, or for God's sake, even a couple therapy, if that's the last thing, like the last resort. And I'm saying the last resort because most people would not want to pay for that. Most people want a quick fix. So I think this can be a really quick fix. And okay, you might not want to bring everyone into your like relationship and like see you starting a fight and stuff like that, but just try to talk to each other and be understandable. You know, be understandable with each other. Like, why can't she make a decision? You know, or why doesn't she accept my decision about what is going on? Like, what does she think? You know, and you can ask her, why don't you like my idea? Oh, because of this and because of that. And you just, you know, in an argument, when both parties do not agree with each other, the best thing to do is just talk about it and dissect, whatever, cut open the conversation and look inside at all the details, you know, and see what's the real friction point. Because I think that's the most important. And eventually come up to an agreement, to make a deal. But make sure from your perspective as a man, or from her perspective as a woman, make sure none of you make use of power and manipulation or like the intimidation to into a decision, into the other's decision, you know. Don't force her into your decision unless there's no other way. As I said, don't force her into your decision unless it's a decision for both. If it's a decision that can also hurt you or impact you, then she really doesn't seem to be on board with what you recommend, and you seem to not be able to make a deal with her, like nothing works at all, then just try to take the best decision that is for you, and I think that works fine. And see what that means. If that decision is you to continue drinking or gambling or going to the house and fuck them, well, then you have a problem. But that's definitely for another conversation. Otherwise, well, yeah. Talk about it. Don't start a fight about decisions. Sometimes people are in a just heavy mental state, like they really can't think for themselves at that moment, you know. And women, girlfriends tend to think about a lot of things, you know, and it can be hard. You have to understand that sometimes it can be hard for them to know what they want, know what they like. If they are in the house, they are not washed and they don't smell nice and blah blah, they can't imagine themselves being all nicely and dressed and smelling good and feeling great, being at a certain restaurant, because they are not like that in that moment, you know. So they want you to create this image for them, you know, in a way. They want you to think about a way to create, like to think about a way to make them feel like they are that, you know, in that position, smelling like that or feeling like that, so they can actually accept what you are proposing, you know. It's more about feeling in a way and being in a way for them to make a decision, you know. And if they are on their period and they're tired and sweaty and stuff like that, they can't feel like going to a fancy restaurant dressed very nicely and stuff like that, you know. So either you make them feel like they are perfectly fine, and You make sure you dress together nicely and you use some perfume and you go there together, or you take a shower together and you go there so you don't smell like sweat together or whatever. Just do that, you know, or you can eat inside, you know. This was an example, but it goes the same for many more things, many more decisions, you know. So this wraps it up. I hope you really understood what I meant, because I'm trying my best to translate the women's language, as I have a 6-year relationship, and I believe I really did some work by through my mistakes, my understanding what everything means, and I can tell you I got like 20% so far. I hope. I'm not sure, but definitely I'll see you in the next one. Hope this helped. Actually, leave me in the comment. Let's talk about this before I go. Leave me in the comment what's a decision that your girlfriend really, like, she really pisses you off frequently regarding taking a certain decision, you know. If it's nothing personal that you want to share, just do it in the comments and I'll try to answer. I'll answer your comment, and we'll see how we can solve it together, you know. We'll see, we can dissect together the information and see why she can't take a decision and blah blah, and I'll give you my opinion on it. Just leave it in the comments.